More Range Rover, more sport, and in the case of the Land Rover Range Rover Sport SVR, more performance and more luxury too. This Special Vehicle Operations SVR is said to be the ultimate example of the model. A bespoke interior, more powerful engine, customized dynamics, while retaining genuine off-road ability, and a lengthy standard kit list would seem to reinforce this. Of course, with talented opposition like the BMW X6, Mercedes-Benz GLE Coupe and Porsche Cayenne to contend with, despite the bespoke nature of this vehicle, it won't likely have it all its own way. Supercharged 5-litre V8 petrol. If you think the 5-litre V8 petrol engine found in the standard Land Rover or Range Rover Sport supercharged is plenty fast enough, and why wouldn't you? You'll be startled to hear this Land Rover Range Rover Sport SVR adds another 40 bhp and 56 Nm to its headline figures. So now there's 542 bhp and 680 Nm delivered to the tarmac through this car's 421-inch wheel and tyre combination, via the recalibrated 8-speed automatic gearbox, with a shift speed up to 50% faster. In raw numbers, that means the Land Rover Range Rover Sport SVR can leap from 0.62 miles per hour in just 4.7 seconds, and won't stop headbutting the horizon until you reach a limited 162 miles per hour. The bark from the SVR's new exhaust, complete with 4 outlets nestled in the new black rear diffuser, is comically loud under full-bore acceleration, more in keeping with an extreme endurance racer than a stance Chelsea tractor. The deleted fuel cut off on overrun, allowing unburned petrol to be exploded in the exhaust pipes, popping, banging and crackling as it does so, is sure to raise a grin. Designed to be dynamic, alongside the tweaked engine, recalibrated gearbox and bespoke exhaust, the Land Rover Range Rover Sport SVR boasts of a complete rework to its suspension, resulting in the most road-focused Land Rover Range Rover Sport so far. The list of changes and highlights is extensive but includes uprated rear subframe bushes and springs, optimized adaptive dampers, bespoke wheels and tires. Choose from standard or season 21-inch rubber or optional 22-inch road-focused tires and the ability to send 100% of its power to either axle. Fitted with a dynamic active locking rear differential that now locks earlier, and with a corner recognition system for the gearbox, it means this Land Rover Range Rover Sport SVR can round a bend flatter, faster and harder than anything else from the firm's arsenal. In fact, it'll embarrass some more traditionally bona fide sports cars too. It is firm though, and with a slightly numb helm you can appreciate this car's considerable size and weight. At least the 6-piston calipers clamping 380mm discs at the front will help bring the SVR back down to sensible speeds when required. Bespoke cabin. The general layout of the Land Rover Range Rover Sport SVR's interior is directly related to the standard car, but the most obvious difference is the special SVR seats, complete with harness holes. Not that any owner is likely to use them. Even with standard seatbelts, the Land Rover Range Rover Sport SVR's chairs offer plenty of support, certainly more than enough to cope with its uncannily flat cornering attitude. They look great too, and are swathed in specially trimmed and embossed Oxford leather. The dash and door cards are wrapped in hide too. And those relegated to the rear shouldn't feel too hard done by either, as though the bench will accept 3 occupants. It's been designed to perfectly host a pair of passengers on individually sculpted bucket seats replicating the front bay. Off-road, it couldn't be a Land Rover Range Rover if it couldn't cut the mustard off the blacktop. And so the Land Rover Range Rover Sport SVR still retains the traditional Land Rover abilities. 4-wheel drive, with a low and high range that can be selected on the move at speeds up to 37 miles per hour, the now familiar terrain response system, 272mm of ground clearance, 546mm wheel articulation and an 850mm wading depth mean you can go straight from the track and into the woods. You can even remove the lower portion of the front bumper to improve the car's approach and departure angles. Read the rest of the Land Rover Range Rover Sport SVR review to find out if that's enough to conquer the rest of the obstacles this vehicle faces.